Hi guys and welcome back. Well, we've got another game review for you. This game was actually requested by my good friend Paul Kellogg, who lives in Washington. Paul, this one's for you. Let's take a look at Detroit Become Human. Right, Detroit Become Human. The game is developed by Quantic Dream, published by Sony Interactive. As you can see there, the directors, producers, designers, programmers, writers and composers, there's a whole host of people there, and I would imagine that's certainly not the full team. The platform is a PlayStation 4 exclusive. It was released on the 25th of May 2018, and it is classed as an adventure game. I've been really interested in wanting to play this game since I played Quantic Dream's certainly two other hits, at least I certainly consider them as big hits, and that was Heavy Rain on the PlayStation 3, that's what I played that on, and Beyond Two Souls, which is a beautiful game, and if you've never played that you really should give that a try as well. They're based in Paris, France. It almost feels like they've got a little bit of a niche market here. It's certainly not this game full on action. There is a lot of problem solving. You've got to think your way through. You've got to react at the right time. As for the story, well, I suppose we're learning the story as we go along. The story develops. It's like life to a point, you should have turned left when maybe you turned right, and now you've got to deal with the consequences of your actions. And that's really this game almost in a nutshell. You've got to work your way through it. So, as always, we're going to learn the story as we go along, so it's story 8 out of 10.
I hope you had a good day. Welcome back. This is the extras section. As you play, you'll unlock all kinds of content that you can find here. Great, let's start. Would you consider having a relationship with an android that looks like a human?
Interesting question. You know what? We'll debate that another time. Audio. Well, how am I going to word this? It's got that sort of Android sort of vibe, that sort of robot-y sort of click. Listen to the voice of the woman at the very beginning. It's human, but it's not quite human, if you get my meaning. That's certainly the way the character talks. In this case, you're playing the character of Connor. The way he answers, sometimes there's not much pitch in his tone, so it sounds robotic. And obviously that's been done on purpose. Certainly the everyday noises that you also come across within the city, the town, the rooms, sounds the way it should do, and is absolutely spot on. It's brilliant. It draws you, the player, in even further into the game because it's what you expect. So I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. What's your problem?
fuck you looking at?
Lieutenant Anderson, my name is Connor. I'm the android sent by CyberLife. I looked for you at the station, but nobody knew where you were. They said you were probably having a drink nearby. I was lucky to find you at the 5th bar.
What do you want?
You were assigned a case early this evening. A homicide involving a CyberLife android. In accordance with procedure, the company has allocated a specialized model to assist investigators.
Well, I don't need any assistance. Especially not from a plastic asshole like you. Just be a good little robot and get the fuck out of here.
Listen, I think you should stop drinking and come with me. It'll make life easier for both of us. I understand that some people are not comfortable in the presence of androids, but
I am perfectly comfortable. Now back off before I crush you like an empty beer can.
You know what? I'll buy you one for the road. What do you say? Bartender, the same again, please.
See that, Jim? Wonders of technology. Make it a double. Did you say homicide?
Controls. Well, if this is your first Quantic Dream game, you might not be used to these. They're a little bit clunky at first at the beginning. They are very simple and you will pick it up. But, you know, it's not pushing X all the time or R2 to run or anything daft like that. You've just got to watch the screen. At times you'll be given an option, you know, star, circle. In fact, like now, you've only got a given time to react. Now this is when you don't panic, just make your choice. Other instances where you have to move the joystick maybe up and to the right to turn a doorknob. It's just going about it a little bit different. You know, this isn't a action adventure game. It is an adventure game. So it's a little bit more slow paced, so you don't have to worry about super fast reactions with the controls. Just stick with it, keep your head, keep what you're watching on screen, and it'll guide you through. And after maybe one or two scenarios, you'll easily pick this one up. With that being said though, I am only going to give it 7 out of 10.
What part of staying in the car didn't you understand?
Your order contradicted my instructions, Lieutenant.
You don't talk, you don't touch anything, and you stay out of my way. Got it?
Got it.
Evening, Hank. We were starting to think you weren't gonna show.
Yeah, that was the plan until this asshole found me.
So, got yourself an android, huh?
Oh, very funny. Just tell me what happened.
We had a call around 8 from the landlord. Tenant hadn't paid his rent for a few months, so he thought he'd drop by, see what was going on. That's when he found the body. Jesus, that smell was even worse before we opened the windows. The victim's name's Carlos Ortiz. He has a record for theft and aggravated assault. According to the neighbors, he was kind of a loner.
Graphics. Well, let's just look at them for a moment. Absolutely stunning. Quantum Dream have done a fantastic job with this. The visuals on this game of this, well, futuristic setting, shall we say, they're just outstanding. They really are starting to push the PlayStation 4's hardware. Seriously starting to push it. I know the PlayStation 4 Pro looks even better than this. This is the PS4 Basic. But I'm more than happy with this. And certainly that their vision of the future, it's got a sort of Blade Runner feel. It's not that extreme, but it just feels that way. And the way they've done it is fantastic, and you can't argue with these sort of graphics. It's just breathtakingly beautiful. The design, the level of detail is outstanding, and for that it's going to get 10 out of 10.
It won't be long now.
Lieutenant, I think I figured out what happened.
Oh, yeah? Shoot, I'm all ears.
It all started in the kitchen.
There are obvious signs of a struggle. The question is, what exactly happened here?
I think the victim attacked the android with the bat.
That lines up with the evidence. Go on.
The android stabbed the victim.
So the android was trying to defend itself, right? Okay, then what happened?
The victim fled to the living room.
He tried to get away from the android. All right, that makes sense.
The android murdered the victim with the knife.
Okay. Your theory's not totally ridiculous. But it doesn't tell us where the android went.
It was damaged by the bat and lost some therium.
Lost some what?
Therium. You call it blue blood. It's the fluid that powers androids' bio.
Gameplay. Well, the game's got 32 chapters, of which you should actually be able to complete it in roughly 10 to 13 hours. Some of these chapters, well, they can and they can't be accessed, but that's based on the decisions you make for the most part. You'll play using the androids Connor, Kara and Marcus. They've all got their own individual stories. I nearly said memories then, because that's the way it feels a little bit, that I'm reliving a memory, but my actions are able to actually change that memory in a given way, shape or form. And I actually do quite like that. It's a different way of playing a game, but are you really playing a game? Because it feels like you're playing a film, and you're going to decide what the outcome or what the fate is of this particular person. With that being said though, you can only relive these memories or stories so many times, and once you're done, you're done. You'll maybe go back to play the game, but it's certainly not going to be coming off the shelf anytime soon. With that all being said though, it's a really interesting game. It's totally different than anything potentially you've ever played before, and you don't just play as one character all the way through. You know, it will jump to the other characters within the game, so it mixes it up, and for that I am going to give it another 8 out of 10.
Hey, what are you doing with that chair?
I'm going to check something.
Good, check something.
was just defending myself. He was gonna kill me. I'm begging you. Don't tell him.
Connor, what the fuck is going on up there?
It's here, Lieutenant!
Oh, shit. Chris! Ben! Get your asses in here now! Come on!
Overall, this is a fun, thinking adventure game which will get your mind thinking not just about the game and which scenario to take, but it'll also get you thinking about real life as well and the things that you see that happen in the real world, whether it's right or whether it's wrong. Your mind will start thinking that. But at the same time, certain things that I was doing, it almost felt like I was being tested. Am I being tested for maybe a possible future? Who knows? But it's very, very interesting. And it's a game I think that everybody should play at some point. Certainly if you're a young teenager, it's not the game for you, I don't feel. But getting to your late teens, early 20s and beyond, I think you'll thoroughly enjoy this one. Fantastic visuals, incredible sound as well. You'll have a blast. It does come highly recommended, but certainly a replay value, it's a little low. Once you've played that same scenarios a few times, you're going to get bored. Well, it gets 8.2 out of 10.
Todd? Dinner is ready.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Well, that's Detroit Become Human. As you can see, we did play one of the chapters there of Connor. Like I said, you've got 32 to play from, so you've got tons of fun to have. Some of the chapters do play quite quickly, the others do go on for quite a bit, but that depends on you and your actions you take, obviously. Here, this one's Kara. As you can see, she looks after Todd and the little girl there. You're not going to see all of this because I certainly don't want to ruin it too much for you guys, but you'll have an absolute blast playing as these characters, and you know, you get put in their scenarios. Some of them are really cruel, to be quite honest, and you just depends on what you're going to do on what that final outcome is, and that I just found really, really interesting, and it's a totally different way to play a game. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It does come highly recommended if you haven't guessed already. Well, that's just about all I've got time for. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've certainly enjoyed bringing this to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I'll catch you all again. Take care.